Hey y'all, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to my kitchen. I know I've been gone for a little while. I had a death in my family. My dad passed away. But to keep his New Year's tradition, I'm going to make the Southern traditional meal. I'm going to start out by making the collard greens for the meal. The greens are supposed to represent money, so everybody says eat a whole mess of greens and you'll have prosperity throughout the new year. So I just have one bunch of greens, and then I'm just taking and removing the stem from each leaf. Once I have all the stems removed, I just add all of my collard greens into my sink full of water and sprinkle in some salt and just rub it all around. It's supposed to help scrub all the dirt and grime away from the leaves themselves. While the greens are soaking in the salt water after I've scrubbed them, I'm going to start on my liquid mixture. I'm going to add some olive oil to my Dutch oven and add half of a chopped onion in and saute that for about 5 minutes or until the onions are soft. Once my onions have softened, I'll add in about a half a tablespoon of minced garlic and cook it around for about a minute, just long enough for it to get flavorful but not burn. To the pot with the onions and garlic, I'm going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth, 3/4 teaspoon of white granulated sugar, a pinch of red pepper flakes or more, totally up to you. It just depends on the spice level you like. Add in some black pepper and a splash of apple cider vinegar and bring that to a boil. Once your liquid has come to a boil, you want to add in your meat that's going to season your greens. I'm using about 1/4 pound of hog jaws or jaws. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, I'm using about 1/4 pound of the meat. You can either use ham, a ham bone, or fat back. But put this in your pot, cover it, and let it simmer for 30 minutes. After your 30 minutes is up, remove your lid and add your greens to the pot. It's going to look like a lot, but once the greens get in there and start cooking, they wilt down, so it's really not as much as you think. Now you'll want to let your greens simmer in your liquid for 2 to 3 hours, depending on the tenderness you desire. And once they're done, they will decrease in size, but this is what you want to end up with. So good. Next, I made black eyed peas in the Instant Pot. I just add 1 pound of dried peas to my pot. I'm going to cover with 6 cups of water. I'm going to add in more of that hog jowl meat, about the same amount as I did for the greens, about 1/4 pound. I'll add in 2 beef bouillon cubes and Cajun seasoning. Again, the seasoning is to taste, so if you like them spicy, add more. If you don't like them spicy, don't add a lot or don't add any. Now I put the lid on and locked it for high pressure, and it'll cook for 45 minutes. The pressure will build up for about 10 to 15 minutes. It'll cook for 45, and then it'll be another 15 minutes for the pressure to naturally release. When your beans are done, you can either remove your meat or you can chop it up and mix it in with your beans to serve. Next, I made smothered pork chops. I start out by adding 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, salt, and pepper to my large Ziploc bag. This way I can add my pork chops straight to the bag and just shake it around to coat the chops. Once I've got the pork chops completely coated in the flour mixture, I'm gonna take and remove them from the bag and add them to a pan that's been warming with some oil and brown them on each side for 30 seconds. After I've browned the pork chops on each side for about 30 seconds, maybe longer if they're a little thicker, I am gonna pull them out of the pan and sit them on a plate to the side. And then I'm gonna add in half of a chopped onion and saute that until it's soft and translucent. Once the onions are soft, I'm gonna add in the rest of that flour mixture that I had earlier that I coated the pork chops in, and just stir that around and coat all of the onions and cook it until it browns just slightly and thickens up. Once the flour has coated all the onions and thickened up a little bit, I add in an entire carton of chicken broth. This is about 4 cups, and I'm gonna stir that, and then I'll add in 1 cup of heavy cream, salt, pepper, and a tablespoon of minced garlic, and whisk that until it's smooth. I removed the gravy mixture from the heat. I've added in my pork chops into a baking dish, and then I just pour the entire gravy mix over the pork chops and cover with tin foil. And I'm gonna bake in the oven at 350 for about 1 hour and 25 minutes. When your pork chops finish, go ahead and remove the tin foil and just let them sit for a few minutes and then serve them up. I did ours with the traditional meal. We had the pork chops with the gravy, the black eyed peas, collard greens, and I just made some boxed cornbread mix. But I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what kind of New Year's traditions you guys do wherever you're from. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out for more videos like this.